Get started with our meeting today. Our first order of business is to approve the minutes from our last board meeting, and I understand that there's a change that Commissioner Hackett would like to make on the minutes.
Yes, fellow commissioners, I am listed as present for the January 26th board meeting, and I was not present, so with that change, I am moving to approve.
All right, there's a motion to approve with the change. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good, minutes passed. On to resolution number 30561.
Yes, Commissioners, this is consideration of a cooperative agreement with the Urban Youth Academy. This is a project that we've been working on now for well over a year. This is to build the academy in Gray Park. And the Urban Youth Academy is driven primarily by the Kansas City Royals organization, and that's who we've been working with. And the memo spells out the details associated with that, and it's a project that has been supported through the Park Board and also the Mayor's office. The Mayor's been a very big part of this project, and Joni's here as Mayor's Chief of Staff representing the Mayor's office, and then David Francais is also with us today, who's been working on the cooperative agreement. And then Nelson Munoz from the City Law Department who's been working on it from the city side. And we would recommend approval of the agreement.
Very good. Are there any questions at this time? Nelson, did you want to mention anything about the agreement, or is it pretty standard stuff? Similar?
It's, similar to what we did with the...
Oh, if you can, we got to have you come up this way, so. Sorry, Nelson.
No, you're not.
I am not, sorry, actually.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
The agreement is similar to what we did with the Circuit Village. So the framework, the legal framework is very similar to that one. So the agreement is contains some of the same provisions and some of the same requirements that we have for the Circuit Village. The council is going to have to approve it, so we're going to go to council with an ordinance. We're working on drafting the final version, and I believe it's going to be introduced this week to go to first reading next week because there's no council this week. And so the council will have to give the final approval. And the agreement that you're approving is in substantial form. Most of the substantive legal issues have been resolved, and there's still a few details that we need to work out with Dave, and we'll get to that before we have the final approval from council.
Very good. Thank you.
Okay.
This is exciting.
Yeah, I'm very excited about the investment in the East Troost area. It's going to be a really big benefit to the families over there, and actually for the entire metro area. I think it'll be a destination, I think, for youth soccer and softball. So, baseball and soccer. So,
Yeah.
softball. Jesus, that word. That's a mess.
Very good. Any other questions, Joni? Would you like to say anything on behalf of the mayor at this time, or please?
Thank you all so much for entertaining this today. You know, when the Royals came to us a year and a half ago with this project, it was almost too good to be true. Very rarely do you have a project pretty much laid in your lap that hits on things that are so important to the community, like enforcement, employment, youth development, education, and economic development. And so that's what this project is. It's very important to the mayor. As you all know, our urban core youth are really important to him. And so we really appreciate your support.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thanks.
All right, is there a motion to accept the resolution?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion seconded. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good. Resolution passes. Thank you. Best of luck on the project and getting that completed. We're looking forward to seeing that done. Resolution number 30562.
Yes, Commissioners, consideration and license facility use agreement for the annual St. Patrick's Parade, 44th annual. If you have a memo in your packet from Terrence, and I know we have a guest, Patty's here, and recommend approval, and Terrence is here to address any questions you might have.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. This use and concession agreement is for the use of Broadway, and we have Patty here, Patty Allworth. Sorry if I'm not that good with the last name. And she's going to come up here and talk to you briefly about the event to take place on March 17th, 2016.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I think you all know what we do every year.
Never heard of the project.
It'll be
What
on
is
March
it?
17th, and if all goes well, we will be kicking off at 11, ending up by 1:30, and having a really good day. So if you have any questions, be glad to answer them.
Any questions at this time?
How many years has it been on Broadway?
This will be the 5th year on Broadway. It was going down Grand.
Right.
And one other year it was on Broadway, going north, and that was in '95. But then
Okay.
it's been on Broadway going south for the last 5.
Yeah.
Well, is the construction supposed to be done on Broadway by that time?
We always take pictures.
Good boy, that's
We always-
that. Oh.
I know.
If it,
We're hopeful.
All right, so,
okay.
any other questions, comments?
How many people do you think will participate this year? Any indication?
It's all depends on weather. We've
Yeah.
had as few as, 90 and as many as 330. I can't, it's 1,000 I'm talking.
Yeah,
So I can't, it's weather dependent. It's a weekday, so it should be a little bit lighter crowd. But
Mhm.
All right, very good. I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Resolution number 30563.
Yes, Commissioners, another item that Terrence is handling. This is a badminton tournament.
Yes.
Go for it.
All right, and so the badminton, this is the second annual tournament. And last year, I believe there were 60 nets in Tice Park. And I believe it's a single elimination tournament. And where we have Given Back the Basics, I would like to come and talk briefly about the event.
Good afternoon.
afternoon.
Thank you. How are you?
Yeah.
Hi. Thank you for seeing us today. Holly, Heidi, Michelle, we're here representing Giving the Basics. And we had a donation of a picture of last year's event. We wanted to show you Tice Park. We'd like to have it at Tice Park again. And if you would, I believe Terrence shared a packet that we had prepared so far. Heidi Downer was so helpful last year because this was all new to me on what to organize and what to get together. And Shannon Dooley's also been really helpful. So we're building on last year in terms of parking, location. We'd like to have a bigger event, although it was over 200 people last year. And it was open to the public so people could move through the park and come up and ask us about it. But before all that, if Michelle Orpin could just say a word or two about the organization itself.
So what we are is called Giving the Basics. We are a not-for-profit that serve over 55 shelters and pantries in both the Missouri and Kansas. About 80% is on the Missouri side. And we serve free personal care hygiene items to all the shelters and pantries that are registered with us, because these are items that are not included in food stamps. So this was our first event, and it went over so well. And we like having it on the Missouri side because it really is, like I said, 80% of our clients are from the Missouri side. And we do have full support from the mayor on this and our charity and what we're trying to do to help the city.
And so in the packet, one thing that's coming up as I'm going over to get the noise permit, we'll have a band. But last year it went really well. I just took invitations over to the 9 or 10 neighboring homes that are there that you can see, I think, on one of the first maps. And, we said we keep it down and keep quiet. And, yeah, it was very good. So we had a Kansas City police officer there, which was really nice, plus 2 other security, just to, make sure. We weren't sure the first time, and everybody was really well behaved. This will be in conjunction, or at the same time as the Plaza Art Fair, so we hope to have traffic through.
Yeah, very good. Okay.
How many people did you say last year?
We had about 200 visitors, including players and volunteers, and then just family and friends, and just people came to see us. Heidi came to visit. It was great. Yeah.
Great. All right.
That's good.
Heidi didn't play last year? No?
Yeah, it was great. Yeah. That was nice.
Is there any other questions or comments or anything?
That's good.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate the information, and thanks for the fantastic picture.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Great.
and
It's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
It was just
hopefully you guys have
beautiful.
just as good weather, if not better.
Yeah.
It was magical.
Nice
It was really
Yeah,
great.
yeah, yeah.
Mad.
Yeah.
I have a
Yes.
suggestion for Heidi. Get that picture and one comparable and put that on the website for Thies Park
Oh, yeah, we'd love to share.
instead of a static one.
We'd love to share other photos too. We had ones, taken from all you know, different areas, and somebody, we had a couple drones taking shots and stuff, so we have
Good
some
place
live
to do the
stuff too.
event.
Yeah,
I want a drone.
yeah.
Great,
Yeah.
best of luck.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you very
Good luck.
much, thank you.
Is there a motion to accept the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Motion second, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good, the resolution passes. Best of luck, yes.
Yes, for sure.
Resolution number 30564.
Okay, Terrence, another one you have, Volker Neighborhood Association for Volker Fest. Is coming up in June of this year. And again, Terrence is here to answer questions.
All right, sticking with the second annual theme, this is the second annual Volker Fest. I'm pretty new to Kansas City, so I wasn't sure who Volker was. So I looked it up, and I'm not sure who all in here went to UMKC, but he donated the land to that Volker campus. They called him Mr. Anonymous. I think this is great that they're honoring a neighborhood named after this person. And so we have here Melissa Martin, who's going to speak briefly about the second annual Volker Fest.
So this is the second annual one. We did it last year. We had we're figuring almost 1,000 people who showed up throughout the day. It went from 3 to 9 p.m. We have local artists. Some of them, it was their very first show. We don't ask for anything. We just say, this is your space, 12 by 12, decorate it however you want. We want to see it shine. And then we also have bands. And every artist and every band has to have a tie to what we hope to be Volker, Hyde Park, downtown, Crossroads, something like that. So yeah, I mean, it was really fun, and we're excited to do it again this year, hopefully. Do you have any questions?
I actually have one. We were talking about the Volker neighborhood, but around Roanoke Park, there's 2 or 3 other neighborhoods there. Are they all on board here and okay
Yes.
with everything?
Yes,
They
last
can
year
talk to
we
them.
made sure, we did the noise permit. I also had letters delivered to everyone around the park about like what was occurring. We are in contact with every president of the boards, Roanoke Park and everyone around there to let them know. And everybody, they're really excited. It was a good thing for the community.
Just wanted to check.
Does it have a theme of any kind, or just kind of a block party get
Volker,
together?
yeah. It's like, woo. Not really. We're just a nice day in June where we're hoping to bring and highlight Midtown, a part of Midtown. Just all of there's so many artists that we have and don't actually get to, sometimes afford to go to the Plaza Art Fair or go to these things. So it was something to kind of highlight them. Yeah.
Great. Wish you best of luck on the event once again.
All right. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Is there a motion to approve the
So
resolution?
moved.
Motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All right, very good. Resolution number 30565.
Yeah, yes, Commissioners, another item that Terrence and his team are working on. An event coming up this summer over at Penn Valley Park, Chipotle Cultivate Festival. Memo lays out the details of the event, and again, Terrence is here to address any questions you might have.
Thank you, Commissioners. This Chipotle Cultivate Festival will take place on July 23rd in Penn Valley Park. They're expecting 25,000 people throughout the day. They're going to have some music on the stage that'll be near the Mother of the Plains. And also, there'll be some guest chefs there. And actually, we can just probably cut to the chase. It wasn't all that, it didn't all do that well last year. There was some hiccups, but we learned from those mistakes last year, and so we're not going to repeat those same things, which would have been a parking mix-up. We failed to notify accurately World War I, and so that's all been taken care of. There's been a couple meetings with World War I Museum, and specifically with Carrie Choctaw and Jessica Russo, and I've talked on the phone with the security, the manager of security in parking, and his name is Patrick Raymond. And they've all been in the fold on what's going on with the future, with the parking and the traffic plan. And I'm confident that this will be a better event this year than it was.
How was the
last year.
cleanup last year?
There were some issues with, to my understanding, the issues were with the repair of the turf in the area, that the cleanup wasn't necessarily an issue. And so we've taken care of that with some language in the contract.
To address the repair the turf after the
Yes.
fact? Okay, perfect. Good deal.
Any other questions? All right. Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good. Resolution passes. Resolution number 30566.
Yes, Commissioner, this is the annual assessment of our park levy and our boulevard front tax. As you're probably aware, when we did our half-cent sales tax, which provides the revenue for the department, we still have on the books the levy and the park foot assessment. There's no money involved here. It just means we come back every year and make the assessment. It becomes part of the annual budget process. If you have any questions, Sherry can sure answer them.
Move to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Resolution number 30567.
Yes, Commissioner, this is a contract renewal with Orion Golf Management for Minor Park, Swope Memorial, and Heart America courses. Doug, our administrative director and director of golf, is handling this, and I know he has guests from the management company, and I'll turn it over to you, Doug.
Hello, how are you all doing today?
Good, fine.
Good. This is the contract for the South Golf Courses, which is Heart of America, Minor Park, and Swope Memorial. We only had one group apply for the RFP, so it's Orion Management Solutions, and actually they're the present contractor, and they do a bang-up job. So I'm happy to recommend you guys presenting, and approving this contract. And Matt Roberts, the president of Orion, is with us today. I'd like him to say a few words. Do you guys have any questions before we?
No, at this time. Would like to hear from
Okay.
Mr. Roberts.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Just briefly want to say, we have been contracted for 10 years now. This will be a third contract, I guess, for Orion. We're a local company. We're very honored and privileged, we feel, to work with the city and with the Parks Department, and look forward to the next contract length and hopefully beyond. So thank you very much. Any questions about the golf courses or?
Any questions on this side?
No, great job. I see Shane on the agenda here. Where's he at today?
He had to go to another meeting.
Oh, okay. All right.
We have 3 days a year that we wear ties, and so I took this one, no, so he had other stuff.
I guess,
We're golf pros.
Yeah, right.
can you guarantee better golfing weather this year?
We're trying, believe me. I think Keith and Brett will say the same thing, yeah. We don't need another May like we had this past
Absolutely
one,
not.
but anyway, hopefully things will go smoothly this year.
Very good.
So,
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other further comments, questions? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion secondly, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good, resolution passes. Resolution number 30568.
Is Doug referred to earlier, the other contract with Kemper Sports Management for the 2 North Lane courses, and so Doug, go ahead.
Yes, this is for the contract for the North Courses, Shoal Creek and Hodge Park. Same thing, they're the current contractor, they're doing a bang-up job, and we wish to continue using them. And we have Keith Hanley, who's the Vice President of Operations from Kemper Sports, and Brett Plymel, the current General Manager of Shoal, with us today.
Please.
Thank you, Commissioners. Thank you. On behalf of Kemper Sports, I'd like to thank you for allowing us to professionally manage your 2 golf courses up north. We've now entering our 15th anniversary of managing Shoal Creek and Hodge Park, and it's been a tremendous relationship and great facilities. And again, like Matt, we're looking forward to the future and many years beyond.
Okay, great. Any
Thank you.
questions?
Hodge, pretty much all the renovations done and the changes around, and
It's looking great. It's
Great.
looking really good. Yeah, the fairways have come in fantastic from several years ago, and then the rest of the improvements are nearing completion. Looks great.
good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
All right, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Resolution passes. We're gonna move, skip past 30569, and we'll just take that to the next meeting cycle, and then we'll move to resolution number 30570.
Yes, Commissioners, this is another one of our Sidewalk Cafe licenses. I might recall we did several of these at the last board meeting. This one is for the Kona Grill, located on Ward Parkway, 444 Ward Parkway, and you have a memo in your packet from Forrest that outlines the compensation and the term of this contract. And if you have any questions, I think, Sherry, you're here to answer those questions. Thank you.
All right. Any questions? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the license?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
passes. On this next one, I can't vote on because I work for the Rutledge Center, so Commissioner Mecklenburg, is going to take it from you.
Okay, considering resolution number 30571. Roosevelt? Terry?
Terry?
Okay.
Thank you. Roosevelt is out with a sick kid today. So this is the 64th annual Tony Aguirre tournament, and it's hosted at 4 locations, one of which is the Tony Aguirre Community Center. And this is the agreement to allow them to use the center on the 13th, which is the Saturday, for the entire day, including the gym and the kitchen.
You said this is the 6th?
64th.
64th.
64th annual tournament obviously hasn't been at our center, but I think it's been at our center every year that our center's been open.
And how many play?
I don't know the answer to that.
There's probably about.
I think I heard 600, is that?
No, I don't think it's that much. I think,
Okay.
it's probably about, it's probably about 24 teams that come in. I mean, that from around the area.
Yeah, I know
For
this is-
24, but they added this year, they added an over 40 league, so who knows, or
Yeah.
piece, so who knows how many more are gonna come into that.
And how many ACLs might get torn?
Exactly. Well, yeah, I mean, we can count the paramedics. So with that.
This is 5-on-5 or 3-on-3?
This is all 5-on-5, and, yeah, they use that, Sacred Heart Gym, Penn Valley, and then our high school right across the street from Parade Park. We have a gymnasium in there, so all 4 gyms will be used, so.
Yeah, that's great.
Fantastic.
Okay. Any other questions? Any further discussion? Entertain a motion for approval of resolution number 30571.
So moved.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Note that Commissioner Sharon
I abstained.
abstained.
Very good. All right, thank you very much. Doing that, resolution number 30572.
Yes, Commissioners, this is a bid award for Lewis Park, and I believe Travis had a comment earlier in relationship to how we wanted to award this, HRD.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, Commissioners. And Scott Overberry, the project manager, was setting up the board, and he'll tell you a little bit about the project. While he's doing that, one of the items I want to point out in a correction for this, the HRD review is underway on this. HRD has not sent us an approval for the contractor's utilization plan. So I would ask, under staff recommendations, that the recommendation would be the same as stated below, contingent on HRD approval of the contractor utilization plan.
Okay.
That's some stuff he wants to show us. All right.
Good afternoon, Commissioners.
Good afternoon, Scott.
Again, my name is Scott Overbed, I'm the project manager for the Lewis Park Improvement Project. The goal of the project is to make some improvements to the stone walls and replace some of the other existing walls within the park, and also replace some landscaping things up at the pavilion. We've broken it out into a schedule that works around our mini events at the Rose Garden and the Garden Center. So the different milestones are in relationship to the events going on within the park. And we tried to disrupt as little areas as possible during seasons where people have weddings and other outdoor events. They like to take pictures around the lake. So we positioned all the work around those events and those high involvement seasons that those take place. So the first area we're going to take care of is Zone 1, which is up at the pavilion in the northeast corner of the park. It's just some stone wall repair. We hope to have that completed at the corner and at the pavilion by April 13th. Also at the pavilion, we're going to fill in some shrubbery, put in a handrail, take out a lot of the existing junipers and larger shrubs and replace those with spireas. Try to balance out the landscaping there. Areas A, B, and C are at the north end of the lake. Those areas are going to be completed by early May. Most of the work here is to build new stone walls around these dirt planter areas along the sidewalks to help contain erosion and also provide a little seat wall for people to sit on as they're viewing the lake. And then we're also extending the rain garden to try to capture some of that sheet flow that runs off towards the lake and pipe it into an existing inlet on the north end of the lake. So raising these areas around the sidewalk and then trying to level that off to prevent erosion around the tree roots and things like that. Our second zone, we're hoping to be done by May 5th, is zone 3 could be completed by June. The red zone is be done by May 5th. Basically, we're repairing a stone wall, filling in holes, replacing stones that are broken. And then J would be a small 12-inch wall that, again, help prevent erosion along the lake, to try to keep some of that silt from flowing into the lake. And then area E would be a little taller wall, a 2-foot wall, to again prevent erosion and also provide a little seat wall for children as they sit there. And the ducks like to hang out in this area, so to provide a good atmosphere for children. The third zone, again, was up here. The fourth zone would be the stone steps over at Summit and West 52nd. Those stone staircases lead to the Rose Garden, so we've given them a short window in between the two wedding seasons of June and August, September. So that should be complete by August 26th. Then the last zone, the biggest zone, is the south end of the lake. And basically we're taking out existing keystone walls and replacing them with limestone walls. So there's going to be a lot of heavy construction, tearing out footings, putting in new concrete footings, building new walls. And we felt that if we keep all this heavier work contained in the off-season of the wedding season, we can still provide a lot of photographic opportunities at the north end of the park while we're cluttering up the south end through the summer months, hopefully get dry weather to be able to complete the work on schedule and close out the project. And then also in this area, we're replacing some landscaping. Any questions I can answer for you?
The walls that you're talking about in 2, I guess, and maybe 3, are those limestone walls too, or just concrete?
Yeah.
Okay.
What we're going to end up with is every wall is going to be limestone dry stack
Okay.
look to match the other walls in the park.
Great. That's great. It's a beautiful park.
That's great.
All right, any other questions, comments? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Just a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right, resolution number 30573.
Yes, Commissioners, this is change order number 3 with National Streetscape. As indicated in the memo from Travis, this is following up from some prior work at these multiple locations, and it's pretty much just extends time until the spring of this year, and if you have any questions, Travis is here to answer those.
Any
Just
questions?
I'm all-
Time extension, okay. Very good. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Carried. Resolution number 30574.
Yes, Commissioners, again, a change order, this case with Blue Nile Contractors. This is the work they're doing out at the Longview Track. Of course, this is the location of the Bay Water Park. This is bringing in the new parking and drive off to the west, another one of Scott Overbay's projects, and this is the amount of $14,050. Again, recommend approval. If you have any questions, either Scott or Travis can answer those.
Okay. Any questions, comments? All right, hearing none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Resolution number 30575.
Yes, Commissioners, change order with company of D&D Construction, who is doing some work down at Columbus Square Park. Great neighborhood improvement for Columbus Square Park, and recommend the approval of the contract for $6,900. And again, if you have any questions, Travis is here to answer.
All right, any questions?
It's just seen quite a change and quite an improvement in the last year. It really is looking nice.
Fantastic park.
Yeah, it really is.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good. Resolution number 30576 regarding gifts and contributions.
Yes, Commissioners, 5 gifts from members of the Enshriners for the Enshriners Memorial Endowment. I recommend acceptance.
All right, is there a motion to accept these gifts?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
On to the director's report.
Travis, major construction.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Director, we have in front of you the Cliff Drive recreational improvements. And Scott Overbay is project manager on that project. That's the one that wrapped up in December. And you see the map on the front that gives you a location, and you'll notice the locations, 1, 2, 3, and et cetera, that are on there match up with the pictures on the back as far as some of the key improvements made along there. If you look at the photographs, you'll see some of the stairways and railing and the overlooks that were constructed as part of this project. And this is a project that we anticipate being wrapped up last summer, and with the third wettest May, June on record in the Kansas City area, that construction got pushed further and further down the road and was finally wrapped up in December. So right now, we're just in the closeout state. We have meetings with MoDOT and so forth to get the project put to rest and move on to hopefully the next portion of this, which we're looking at the Spirit of KC connection over there. So, any questions?
Nice area.
No, this is great.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Travis.
Okay, Heidi?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So, same things I've been telling you the last couple of meetings. Spring and summer guide, we actually have our first draft back, and that's always a good starting point. So that'll be reviewed and updated and out in print at the beginning of March. And then next meeting, I'll also have a draft of the year in review for you guys to review before it goes to print as well. So just working steadily on this list of events that we have for 2016. I think that I've added a couple since the last time we met. On April the 30th at 3 o'clock, we'll have the Carnes Playground opening in Roanoke Park. And then also we do an event with Bridging the Gap called Revolving Green Around the Blue. And it's on a cleanup of the Indian Creek Trail and also a bike ride. And those have been added. Of course, as I've been talking about as well, is the opening of the Go Ape High Ropes course in Camp Lake of the Woods in Swope Park, and that is on April the 8th. It's been changed. The time has been changed now. It will be at noon. So if you guys are wanting to be there and wanting to actually go through the course as well, let me know.
Even me.
You do? All right. So that has a really good
That's a Friday
pictures.
now, right?
It's a Friday. It was moved to Friday from Saturday, and now
Kids
it's
are
at
getting off school
noon.
that day. There you go.
So it's Friday, April the 8th at noon. Now, if it's bad weather that day, it'll be the following Friday, the 15th.
So it's at noon. All right.
Anyway, yeah, that'll be exciting. I'll just tell you what the course is made of. We've been over there. If you get a chance, run over there and check it out. It's pretty amazing how quickly they're putting it up. It's made up of rope ladders, 39 exciting crossings, including the log swing, the wobbly ladder, Japanese bridge, plank crossing, Yamazo steps, 2 Tarzan swings, and 5 zip lines. So you end each of the segments of the course on a zip line. So, pretty exciting.
I really am excited about how quickly this happened.
Yeah.
You know, and it's already up and running. It feels like so many things get kind of hung up or for whatever reason. So I'm really impressed with these folks. It seemed like they did a really good job. And
they have
to identify the location and get it all.
And just come in
planned out.
and spot the course and design it like in 2 days.
Right.
And then it's just going up, like I said,
Great.
pretty quickly at a fast pace. We're getting a lot of good media attention on that and social media as well. A lot of media attention, and been working with the media on, well, actually, Lynn Horsley, who is here, is going to be going up and doing a story on Go Ape later this week. She did a great story on the Forestry Division's partnership with the Urban Lumber Company, utilizing the emerald ash borer logs. Yeah.
Above the fold.
Huh?
Above the
fold, front page above the fold, man. That doesn't happen very often. So that was exciting. And then, of course, this week will be making the rounds on the old Red Bridge with the media because of the love locks. And we are lighting up the bridge again. Your lock's been up a year now. We will have the old Red Bridge lit up Friday night and Saturday night from 6 to 10 so that couples can go lock their love Valentine's Day weekend. We also, on Friday night, have a really cool event happening at the Brush Creek Community Center, and it's called A Night to Shine, and it's a prom for kids with special needs, and it's hosted and presented by the Tim Tebow Foundation. So they'll have, I think, 200 or so, 200 hosts actually. It's taking place at 200 places across the country, all on the same night. And so it's going to be pretty special. We're excited to be hosting. Brush Creek is really excited to be hosting it, and they're all going to be down there volunteering their time to assist. And I think we should probably get some good media coverage on that one as well. Is that it? That's all I have.
That's a heck of a lot.
Where will National Trails Day be this year? Do you know yet?
We are going to be working with the water department on the trail that they are opening up somewhere around here. Is that right?
Yeah, it's part of the Byram's Ford site,
Mhm.
which is just to the east of here.
Yeah. So it'll be a partnership with them as well.
Great.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. All right, public hearing, I see no one signed up for that. We want to do a quick calendar review.
Yeah, just
After we have an
quickly,
executive session.
Travis, or Heidi's covered a lot of these items, just kind of, we do have a Platte County Parks Partners meeting tomorrow up at Zona Rosa. New location, Hereford House, we no longer going back to the Granite City. I also mentioned, Dave and I had mentioned earlier that Councilman Fowler and Councilman Wagner are planning to be there to talk about the Northland's Big Five initiative they're working on with the Chamber up in the Northland. And then, of course, we have a holiday coming up on President's Day. Our next board meeting is on the 23rd, and looks like the same day we have a Starlight Board meeting on that particular day, and then FOPS meeting on the 24th. So that gets us through February.
All right, cool. Very good. Thank you. I believe we're going to go into executive session.
Make a motion that the board hold a closed session to discuss legal, real estate, or personnel issues pursuant to Missouri Statute Section 610.021.
There's been a motion. Is there a second to go into
Second.
executive? All right, it's been seconded. We have to vote individually. So Commissioner Hackett, how do you vote?
Yes, yay.
All right, very good. Judy.
Aye.
Aye, myself.
Aye.
Yes.
That's all right, very good.
Just
All right, we're gonna go in, and just so that way we know, when we come out of closed session, we will then adjourn the meeting. There will be no additional business spoken of at that time here on the board. So, thank you all. To closed session.